Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and in today's Shadowlands Beta video, we're going to be talking about the new changes to Kyrian and just how massive they are. They went from kind of having mediocre damage, very good self-healing capabilities, and easily one of the best dueling specs to play in Shadowlands Beta, to being the strongest bursting conduit on the map. So let's go ahead and jump into this video and talk about it. I'm actually pretty excited to test this out. Arcane Mage actually has an... Yep. Okay then. That happened. Yesterday we posted a video discussing Necrolord's secret power, and just yesterday they updated, literally the same morning I posted that video, they added in changes to Kyrian, making it the strongest and hardest hitting burst capability inside PvP, which is absolutely insane. And they did it the exact same way they did it with Abomination Limb. So we're going to go ahead and open up our bonds here and look at our conduits so you can take a look at it. And obviously, one of the things we're going to need is Unleash Frenzy if we're going to hit our, massive, the biggest obliterate crits you can just end up with. I mean, that's going to be the way to go. Now, I did take away the extra potency conduit to go ahead and take File of Patience, because as you guys know, that's going to heal you for a little bit more over time, and being that I'm Kyrian, I will want to duel on this character quite a bit. I'm going to go smash on some Rep Paladins, you can count on that. But anyways, I took the extra healing just for that simply, but if I was going to put out just pure raw pressure, I didn't have to worry about survivability, I'd most likely take the extra DPS conduit, but that's not necessarily going to affect our overall burst pressure or really just how high our obliterates are going to hit. But, it is what it is. Now, we do have the defensives, 2 defensives with this one, which is something I do like, which I can take the Death Strike healing, and of course you can, it's really optional, it's really what you prefer. None of them really seem game-breaking, besides kind of the Death Strike increase one, but the increased anti-magic zone and how long it lasts definitely is going to be really strong in the future. If it scales up to even 3, 4, 5 seconds, it's going to be an absolute mad amount of damage mitigation, which is something I actually really like. Now let's get to the bread and butter of this. What has changed it? What has made it an absolute beast of a spec? It is called Combat Meditation. And when you cast Shackle of Unworthy, and if you don't know what Shackle of Unworthy is, it is the conduit power of the Kyrian. Now we can go out and head out to the DPS dummies here. We should finish explaining that first, eh? Alright, so it causes you to proc 720 mastery for 10 seconds. Now, it occasionally expels sorrowful memories, and you walk through sorrowful memories, extends its effect by 3 seconds. So if you just kind of, hover around out there, hit those little things, you can go ahead and make this mastery increase quite a bit longer. Now, the craziest thing about this Covenant ability is the fact that Shackle of Unworthy is on a 1-minute cooldown compared to Abomination's Limb 2-minute cooldown. Now, the increase of strength you used to get before the previous nerf was actually quite a bit and was hitting for around 18k, and Combat Meditation goes quite a bit above that. Now, the odd part is it says 720 mastery, but I'm pretty sure I looked at it in combat, it was adding over 1,000, which I don't believe is absolutely correct, and most likely is going to be tweaked a bit, and but it's still going to hit quite a bit hard. It's probably going to hit closer to Abomination Limb level obliterates instead of the ones that we're seeing today, and some of the ones we've seen today are actually insane. I'll go ahead and put some of those up on the screen near the end of the video exactly so you guys can see what's going on. So I'm going to go out here and show you what's going on with this ability, why it's hitting so hard, and why it's scary. And obviously, what spec we're running just the regular burst obliteration burst build with Glacial Advance. Now, why Glacial Advance? Obviously, because our obliterates scale off of that mastery, and just makes it hit for a lot harder than it previously would. Now, we're going to go ahead and open up on this target. We're not going to light up our bit damage, and I'll go ahead and I'll put a clip on after this showing you what lined up pressure is, the maximum damage that you can manage to do playing this insane spec. So basically you would just throw up this conduit, throw up your burst, throw up the conduit ability, go straight into your burst, and you would just go ahead and just start nuking on the target, hitting for 15, 16Ks regularly. This is without lined up burst. You can go ahead and grab your little conduits on the side there, those little balls you see running around, that'll extend it by 3 seconds, and just overall increase the length of the mastery effect you can gain. As you can see there, it's adding 1080 mastery, and on the tooltip it said it was only going to add 720, so you can see it's actually adding quite a bit more than it previously should, which I believe is a bug. So it's not necessarily supposed to be this strong, but it definitely is. And if you're wondering how much extra damage that probably is, probably accountable for 3,000 to 4,000 extra damage than what it's supposed to do. So it is supposed to hit in the ballpark range of about 18 to about 17 to 18k, which is kind of the max also for the Abomination limb crits. Which is understandable that they are trying to balance those somehow around each other. Now, I could see like one of these has a 1 minute cooldown, while the other one is on a 2 minute cooldown. This one's going to grant the same amount of burst, but it doesn't give you obviously the mechanical strength. And the mechanical strength in terms of threes is going to be more powerful, but having a 1 minute burst cooldown with a side heal is definitely going to be stronger when it comes to DPS versus DPS, as Kyrian versus Abomination and Necrolords, which I do find really cool. So what we're going to go ahead and do up next is go ahead and put up some clips here that's going to be really cool. So what's going on with this video right now is we're just kind of opening up. We're trying to line up our cooldowns because we want this to be as nasty as possible. I've combined this with an Necrotic Aura to make the Obliterates even stronger, scale off of Mastery, and right now we're blowing cooldowns, and here comes the big dumps. 21,000! That is absolutely mad considering we have around 30k health, and some classes even have lower than that, just in that baseline Battleground gear all ranked up. So the absolute damage that you can deal from this seems to be around 21, maybe even higher if you got a little bit of effect from, let's say, a Shaman or something along those lines. But overall, the new Kyrian buff to that big mastery pressure is pretty insane. Now, obviously, it's a bit stronger than it's supposed to be, but even when it comes to Chill Streak and other abilities, you can tell just overall it's extremely powerful. Really fun to play, and I can't wait to actually make some videos with it, you know, have some fun with it, maybe duel some other classes, post some videos, and you know, just do what we normally do on this channel for Frosty Case. Going up against Warlock, Shadow Priest, Mistweaver. I'm definitely going to go on the Warlock as fast as possible. He's already casted down his Demonic Circle. I'm not going to let him get off Gateway. That would be a mistake to allow him to do that. I'm just going to kind of open up on him, stack up some Razor Eyes here. So I want to go for the big damage. Now I'm going to try and dispel a lot of those dots he has on me, just because I can just throw that up whenever. It's kind of nice. He's going for another Fear. I'm actually immune to Fear, so that ain't going to matter. I'm going to go ahead and throw up some, just a little something for him there. And big damage! No, he's got defenses roll, and they've actually thrown up Mistweaver Bubble on top of that. So I'm going to go ahead and kick Shadow Priest and just keep focusing Warlock at this point. Now, our big damage was heavily mitigated by cooldowns, as you can see, but we still got quite a bit more we can throw out. Now, I am taking a Fear to the face there. No big deal. We're going to go ahead and sit that real quick, and we're going to come out with a big Chill Streak as soon as we can here. There's Grasp, trying to stack up some Razor Eyes there. Stacking it up a little further. He's out here trying to dodge our Razor Ice, and we don't like that. So we're just going to keep sitting on this guy until the ends of time, basically, is what we want to do at this point. And I'm just going to keep Death Striking, keep healing up, just kind of surviving as long as possible until I can manage to make it to that next cooldown marker. Now, we do have Pillar up, but we're not going to use Pillar without our Covenant ability, because that would be an absolute waste to do. So I got big damage here. I'm able to cast. Here comes some big damage here. We got big damage coming out. Big Obliterates. Come on, show us the big damage. We got damage mitigation coming out. Throwing out some heavy 10Ks. But realistically, I don't feel like I'm hit as hard as I should be in comparison. I got stunned. I'm just sitting stunned, sitting full stun. I'm not going to get feared on that. I'm not going to get caught in this either. We're going to run right through it and keep up the pressure on this Warlock because he's actually in a bad place. Yeah, I can definitely, like, I can feel the enhanced pressure, but overall, like, the disruption is not there, like, where it should be overall. I don't feel it there. Throwing out big Chill Streak here, big damage coming up, big Obliterates, 13k, let's see if we can get a bigger one, 11k, big burst, a Warlock almost dies to that big burst. Oh my word, he was getting smashed on right there. Come on, Warlock. You're gonna go down soon. I'm stunned. Getting caught in a stun. I want to heal him right now, but obviously I can't. Alright, throwing big damage on this guy. Try to chase down some of those orbs. We can keep up our burst a little bit longer. And we're just kind of focusing out on this Warlock still. Just driving him into the ground. We are not going to let this guy cast at all. Hey, this guy's probably going to go down outside of burst with the way things are going for him right now. It's really not going that well. caught that fear. We're not gonna allow him to get that off. I'm gonna have burst set up here very soon again. Death Strike killing just to keep ourselves alive. So I'm most likely gonna AMS during the actual burst. Looks like they are focusing my partner a little bit there. I do have burst potential up here, but there is no pet. There isn't a secondary target near him, which I'm gonna pull this guy in. He's throwing up big damage too. I'm gonna come in and just finish it. That's gonna be GG. Whew. So overall, how do I feel about this build? Kind of this talent in the overall strength. The burst pressure is really nice. The overall damage increase is pretty cool. I do feel like Frost Death Knights do need more survivability. I didn't think we needed more pressure. But overall, it is cool. I like hitting hard. I like the big obliterates. I mean, really, that's probably one of the most enjoyable parts about playing a two-handed Frost DK. Don't get me wrong. But the part that I feel like it's lacking in comparison to, let's say, Abomination Limb is kind of the interrupt on things occurring during the arena match in comparison to, let's say, like that caster comp I just fought. You notice in the moment, in the middle of it, I started talking about, like, I'm just not feeling it. And the thing I'm not feeling is, like, normally when you're fighting with Abomination Limb and you throw up your major burst cooldowns and you're dealing a massive amount of pressure, there's also a lot of interrupts going on with the ranged casters and, of course, the healer within the arena, because you get within distance of him, you throw up that massive grip, the healer gets pulled in, the healer's now in range of stuns, CCs, fears, anything like that, because they're playing completely out of place. And that, I felt like, was massively missing during those arena games. But obviously, I did enjoy the increase in strength. I did enjoy the increase in burst. And as you saw between me and the other Frost DK, we just kept bursting into that Warlock and mitigating the absolute crud out of him just with sheer force of overall strength. Problem being, as we know, as I've showed you before, the tooltip is incorrect from the amount of mastery we're actually currently getting from the ability, so it shouldn't be nearly as strong as it currently is. But obviously it is. I mean, it's about a third stronger than it actually is supposed to be. Actually, well, I mean, yeah, roughly. So overall, I still will most likely play Abomination Limb, just because, like, even if it stays in this current state, I'd most likely still play Abomination Limb, even though, like, the burst is fun. If I was going to duel, I'd use this, but overall, I still think the mechanical strength of Abomination Limb is going to be more beneficial overall when it comes to bursting and trying to land kills on targets than just a extra sheer amount of burst pressure in this case, which is odd, I know, coming out of my mouth, considering I just love burst and love stupidly hitting people hard. But I could definitely feel the mechanical strength not being there during that fight. But overall, it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. I hope you guys, again, enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and of course, subscribe if you want more Frost DK content in the future. And of course, until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.